We welcome to the show celebrity chef John Torode and, of course, wine connoisseur Neil McGuigan. It's great to have you on, and clearly you guys have already cracked open the wineage that I have actually in the studio with me as well. So,
excellent.
Many thanks for the treats that you've sent over. I'm very impressed.
Our pleasure. Well, have you had a glass yet?
I haven't actually. I haven't cracked them open yet.
Well, try the Semillon Blanc, a beautiful glass of white wine.
That'd be lovely.
I'm trying mine.
Yeah, I've got.
Give us a glass.
Here we go. Let's get into this.
So what have I got to go for? Because I've got the white and the black label red Shiraz.
You've got the McGuigan Classic Semillon Blanc, and you've got McGuigan Black Label Shiraz. So start off with the Semillon Blanc to kick off, and that is a very lovely glass of wine. We make this into a slightly different style of Semillon. It's sort of Semillon with a twist. Lovely, lifted, aromatic, and a lovely, soft, velvety palate. Terrific drink.
And the other thing about it is that if you sort of you drink it, that's the important thing. This tasting wine is one thing, but drink it. I always say to people, the first time you start to taste wine, don't try and swirl it around your mouth too much because it just confuses you too much. Actually, put it in your mouth and swallow it. And then the first thing that comes into your head, then think about it, enjoy it. Now, take the nice things that you know, the things you can pick up. So in there, for me, there's a sort of wonderful bit of citrus, there's softness and maybe a bit of sunshine and grapefruit. And I'm thinking to myself, brilliant. I'm now sitting in a land where there's sun, there's sand, there's a beach. I've got a couple of prawns in front of me, and I'm feeling like I'm at home.
Right, hang on, let me catch up here. I've got Isha, the show producer, with me as well.
Hello, Isha. How are you?
You're right.
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
Have you got a glass there, Isha?
Yeah, she's got a glass as well. Hang on, here we go.
Excellent. The more you drink, the better looking we get.
Hang on, right, here we go.
Thank you.
Right, let's do this then.
Okay.
There we go. Now swill it around.
Yep.
Just swill it around and then have a little sniff. Now, what are you smelling? Is it lovely
smell?
and fresh and sort of tropical in character?
Smells like summer.
There you go.
There you go. That's exactly what John just said. Now,
I can't smell any prawns, John.
No, you can't smell the prawns, but what you can smell is the thing that, you know when you pick up a bit of lemon or something like that, mayonnaise with prawns, and you squeeze the lemon across the top, and then you smell your fingers, and you can smell the lemon, and you can smell the sort of creaminess that comes from mayonnaise, and the saltiness that comes from the prawns. That's what you get.
Yeah, this would be fantastic with a barbecue, wouldn't it? Summer barbecue
yes.
wine.
Well, you can imagine that, right? Imagine that with just a little bit of grilled chicken on the barbie, or a couple of prawns, or a piece of grilled fish, or something like that. I mean, or even, I tell you what that would work really nicely with, is some grilled bananas on a barbecue afterwards, and a bit of coconut sprinkled over the top.
Oh, yeah. There's a very fruity aftertaste to this as well. It doesn't sort of leave for some time. I've still got...
Well, you know how in the wine world, the sort of wineys talk about length? You know, wine has length. Well, that's exactly what you've just said.
Which is different from what Australians call length.
What you're talking about is persistence of flavour. And that shows that a wine is a great food wine because it has a spine of flavour all the way through it. You're probably sitting there thinking, oh, you're a novice on wine. You're not a novice on wine at all. You just talk about it slightly differently to the wineys, but you're understanding exactly what goes on. You're saying that has a persistent flavour and it has a lovely length to it. It's a beautiful food wine. Now, this is what John and I have put together. We've got these QR codes on the back of the labels where you scan it with your smartphone, and it takes you to a website. And that website, you then can download recipes that John has put some fantastic recipes together, and he's also put some videos together. He's been to Australia, we've been to Ireland, we've done them in the UK, and there are some fantastic videos of John cooking up some of his recipes, and then together we've put the wines and the food together. But we're thinking outside the square. We're not saying red meat, red wine. We're saying if you like white wine and you like red meat, with the right white wine, we can pair it together for you. So you can download your own personalised wine and food matching. It's really a service to the consumers.
That's a genius idea. I can see the QR code here as well, and QR codes are starting to take off in the UK, pretty big at the moment. So,
well, for everybody who doesn't know what a QR code, it just means a quick reference code. And for all those people out there who doesn't understand it, because I never really realised what it was, it's that funny little squiggly box. Now, I love technology. Who thought up a squiggly box which can then be read by your phone, which then takes you to a website and shows you all the details of what's in the squiggly box? How does that squiggly box suddenly become McGuigan's wine and food matching website? It's amazing, isn't it?
It's very cool, isn't it? Yeah,
squiggly box. In the squiggly box.
Hey, now we're going to taste the red?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's get into the red
We need some
drink.
more glasses.
Okay.
Well, no, that's down this.
Yeah, that's it.
That's
Get
it.
rid of the white.
That's
That's
it.
now.
Sorry,
there
cheers,
you talk.
down the hatch.
That's it.
Yes.
Excellent. Oh, we're already into the red. Oh, because that smelled good.
Right, let's do the red.
Okay, now when you pour that red, oh, I love that sound. When you pour that red, you turn your glass slightly on the side and look at the colour of that wine, and where the wine touches the glass, that's called the hue. And the younger the wine is, the more purple it is. And if you look at that wine there, you'll see that it's quite purple, and you'll see, therefore, it's a young wine. So it's probably a 2011 or a 2012 vintage. And look at that colour, beautiful colour.
But see how quickly that Neil can explain it to you and what you just learned. So
Exactly.
from now on, you get a bottle of red wine, right? And you pour it into a glass. You can actually just do what you just said. Turn it on its side. Look at it's a very, very light purple colour. The darker and darker it goes, the older the wine is. Now, that's a pretty good tip, isn't it? So you can go around your mates. How impressive is that? You sort of tilt the glass and go, yeah, pretty light, probably 2011. And the next one go, pretty dark, maybe 1985. Can you imagine what they'll say? They go, how'd you know that?
Awesome, awesome.
But that's how, and that's the build of knowledge, really, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. This is quite spicy, this. I can...
Good man, it's spicy. Shiraz gives you a lovely spicy lift. And then on the palate, do you get that same little bit of texture and spiciness as well?
Yeah, definitely.
And you know what's really good about that spiciness? If you try and relate it to what you eat, right? So we love things like pork pies in this country, and pork pies usually have with something like a pickle or a chutney. Well, that's a great thing about Shiraz. So now what you've done is you made a link. Correct. So when you eat pork and sausages and stuff like that, and say mashed potato, drink something like Shiraz with it because it works. Pork and Shiraz work really well because you've got that wonderful spicy chutney type character with it. And that's a really good thing. So cold meats and, you know, sliced beef, which is cold, or salads with smoked duck, or things that you would think naturally have a chutney or a relish that go with them will work beautifully with Shiraz.
So, sorry, John, just going back there. Australians like pork pies.
No, you guys.
Oh, I was going to say, what the hell? What's going on?
No, we like meat pies where I come from.
Absolutely.
Oh, mate, I'll tell you what, the meat pies in Australia are something to behold.
Really?
Oh, they're amazing. I still remember as a kid driving up the Hume Highway between Melbourne and Sydney. We go to stop this place called Yass. Now, Yass, unfortunately, has almost been burnt to the ground recently because of the big bushfires out there. But we used to stop this pie shop, and they were oval in shape. And my dad would always buy, there was the four of us in the car, he would buy 6 pies and 3 sausage rolls. Now, what the economics was that was, I don't know. But you would have 1.5 pies, and they were hot and full and delicious. They were the nicest things in the world. Almost as good as Neil's wine.
But
Brilliant.
you got to have a dead horse on your pie.
That's it, dead horse.
Dead horse.
Dead horse. You know what dead horses, don't you?
You do know what dead horse is, guys, don't
Well,
you?
we've had a bit of an issue with dead horses in burgers over here in the last couple
dead
of weeks.
horse is tomato sauce.
Oh, right. Okay.
And there's a little rhyme that goes with tomato sauce. The rhyme is, shake and shake and shake the bottle, none will come and then a lot'll.
I really have learnt more in this interview than I have in a year and a half's worth of food and drink shows on this radio station. I'll tell you what, John, I'd love you to try my pheasant pie. I don't know if there's any way of doing that, but I'd love to be able to sit down and drink a bottle of red wine like this with one of my pheasant pies. You'd love my pheasant pie.
But is it hot or a cold pheasant pie?
It's it can be both, but as a cold treat, it actually goes down really well. But normally as a warm or a hot pie.
But you see what I'm saying about this, about the spiciness of Shiraz, right? Is that, in actual fact, the acid and the youth of this wine is great with something like that because you've got this. Are you making a lard pastry around the outside?
Yes, I am.
Well,
yes.
There you go. So you've got the fattiness of that lard, and the acid in this wine will help your digestive system. But then you've got that rich, lovely taste of game that's coming from the pheasant. And I dare say you've probably got something like allspice or something like that, and probably some herbs, but not too many. And probably it's been marinated a little bit in something like port or brandy or something like that. Now, brandy's lots of caramel and sweetness. So you've got wonderful spice and sweetness. And you see how it all starts to come together?
Yeah.
And that's the way the raft of this food and wine thing works. Break it down a little bit in your head, but don't make it too complicated.
Yeah, absolutely.
I look forward to trying your pheasant pie.
Yeah.
Next time I'm up your way, I'll knock on your door and say, get me a pie.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
What are you doing this weekend? Let's go up there this weekend.
I can't wait for the security guard to deal with that one. There's a bloke down here, and he's asking for a pheasant pie.
Well, I do the Manchester Food Festival every year. So next year when it's on, let me know, and we'll meet up. We'll have a pheasant pie. I'll bring you a couple of bottles of Neil's wine, and we'll sit around. We'll have a few laughs and maybe get a bit giggly.
Do you know what? That would be awesome, but you'll never remember that, and you'll think I'm a nutter.
No, I will remember, honestly.
No, he's good. He's good. This guy's good.
Yeah, as long as you turn up with a pheasant pie, I'll be there.
He'll be there, absolutely.
That's great. Right, okay, that's a deal. Absolute deal. We'll do it in Manchester. Brilliant. Gentlemen, absolute pleasure to have you on the show this morning. Really appreciate it. My only downside is that we can't have you for any longer, really, but we've got 2 bottles of open wine here, so the party will continue without you as well.
Here is hoping and wishing you a happy day, and that very soon you have 2 empty bottles of wine.
Absolutely. We
And
can do that.
enjoy Australia Day, guys.
Thanks ever so much, guys. Pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you.